Yeah, hello everyone. This is Banu, and today we are going to discuss about operating system basics. And these are useful commands which are in the operating system. So we all know that so there are different types of operating system. Some people use Windows, some people use Linux, some people use Mac OS. So it differs. But as per the security concerns, and if you wanted to maintain highly available applications, or if you wanted to more secure applications, definitely, then options are limited. So we have to choose wisely based on our requirement. And we all know what is a Windows operating system, what is Android one, what is Linux, and what is Mac. So we all know some a little bit basic information about those things. So why I am talking about all these things right now, because we have already seen what are the stages which are involved in the DevOps life cycle. But to go ahead with that and to be more familiar with that, we need to practice on different operating systems, I can say, either Windows or Linux, or different flavors of Linux, and all these things are there. Yeah. These are all the OS basics and useful command today we are going to discuss. And as you see, I have listed out some of the most important operating systems which we use regularly. So we know about Microsoft Windows, which have different versions like 2012, 15, 12, 9, 7. These are all released on those years, and they named with a different version like 10, 8, 7, and Vista. Vista was very slow. We went to Windows 7, and then went to Windows 8, and we found Windows 8 is not good, so we went to Windows 10. These are all things that are happening. Still, many people are using Windows 7 because of their comfort and all. We can keep that aside. And if you go for Microsoft Windows, we can see command prompt and PowerShell. And these days we started using Git Bash also. These are the three terminals or command line, operating systems we can access. And if you other operating system, we can see Apple Mac OS. These also having different flavors, I can say. And 16, 17, 18, they released it. So people are in different versions on Mac OS. And whenever we wanted to access a Mac OS without user interface, we'll definitely go for terminal. So terminal or command prompt or PowerShell or Git Bash, whatever you take, these are all the non-user interface things. We want to operate the our personal computer, any server without any user interface. In that scenario, we will go for terminal. In that scenario, we will go for PowerShell or CMD or Git Bash. So when you are working on any server, for example, so most of the cases you will go for terminal only. You will not see any user interface there, because that is how the system performance can be improved. And 90% of the servers which maintains internet is based out of Linux. No, most of the cases people want to prefer Windows or other operating systems because of some security and the fast and the productivity, I can say. These are all factors which impact when we consider to host some other applications for our case. So most of the cases, even when you wanted to host an application, we 99% will go for Linux operating systems. And if you say Linux operating system, it has multiple flavors. So you might have heard about Linux and Unix as well. So Linux is just nothing but Unix only. I can say it's a copy or clone of some of the components from Unix. So both are almost same. And you can see in the list here, there are a couple of options I have mentioned. One is Ubuntu Linux, Red Hat, Linux Mint, Debian, Fedora. These are the different flavors of Linux. Since the Linux operating system is free, and you can start doing your version of Linux, and you can release as a separate distribution. So whatever the Linux operating system distribution they call it as distro. So Linux distro, whatever the version you wanted to make it, or you want to personalize the environment, you can even do that, because it's open source and the code is freely available over the internet. The other side, Linux is a clone of Unix and it is open source. And 90% of internet is running on the Linux servers. It is fast, secure, free. And one of the main component in the Linux is kernel. So kernel is the main core module, I can say core program, which operates everything in the in your server or in your computer. So it manages everything. Without kernel, there won't be any computer or server. And even Android also made from the Linux kernel. So kernel is a basic concept how it can manage software and hardware and different components. And most of the virus you can say which comes from Windows only, but not on Linux. In that way, Linux is very, very secure, and we can use Linux in our servers. So if you see here, Linux commands are there. These are the mandatory commands you must know. There is no compromise in that. And if you don't know, this is the basic Linux command. It is very difficult to operate any Linux server. If you wanted to work on Windows, that is acceptable. But if you wanted to go for Linux or Unix or any Mac OS, you must know these commands. These are basic commands only. Nothing difficult in this thing. Each and every command you should know. So let's start with from the first. PWD you might have already know, present working directory. So while I explain these things, I will also show practically, so that you will come to know how to execute these commands as well. Let me open Git Bash in my open server. See, one advantage of Git Bash is Git Bash itself will provide Linux kind of environment, so that you don't need any Linux servers to run the Linux commands. You can simply run all these commands in your Git Bash. That is the advantage. Yeah. Now let's start from the first one, PWD. PWD means present working directory. We will come to know where we are. See, it is showing slash means you are in the root location. If you type cd and press enter, it will go to your profile location. So when you type PWD, it shows the path where you are terminal exactly. This is the path where we are currently. And I wanted to see the files in this folder. So when I type ls, it will list all of the files and folders. So when I type ls space -la, it will list all the files and folders, including the symbolic links. Symbolic link is nothing but the shortcut. CD means you can switch the directory, that is change directory. For example, if you wanted to change directory of Windows, you can do like this. And if you come out of that directory, you can press like this, cd space double dot. If you want to create a new directory, you can type mkdir abcd. If you wanted to remove a file, so before removing, I wanted to create one file. If you wanted to create one file, you can create like this. There are multiple ways you can create a file, but this is the one of the way. And I have created a file using touch1, and I wanted to delete using rm command. So if you wanted to delete a folder, you can use rm space -rf and give folder name. But currently I don't have any folder. Oh, I have created abcd, I will delete that. See, I can delete a folder. So if you wanted to see any content of your file, for example, let's see if you have any file here. Some output.json file is there. You can do cat space output.json, so that you can see the content of that file. So in the same way, less space output.json. If you if you type that, some of the content only will be displayed. And if you come out of that, if you wanted to come out of that shell, you can press Q. And you already seen touch command. Touch command is to create a file. If you wanted to rename a file, you can use mv command. Mv space output.json to some other name like xyz.json, so that the file will be renamed. If you wanted to copy instead of renaming, you can do using cp command. For example, xyz.json space output.json. In this way, you can copy the file. And let's go to the other thing. Yeah, this is the another important thing is VA editor. VA editor is very important because if you wanted to edit any files in Linux machine, you need VA editor. For example, I wanted to create a new file and wanted to add some of the content in that. For example, I will add file 1.txt. So this is how you can edit a file. When you press like that, some editor will open. So if you wanted to enter the content, there is one mode called insert mode. So you have to press I, then only you will go, you will be able to edit. That is why in the bottom of the file, session, you can see insert. That means you are in the insert mode. So I will type hello world. This is the content I have added. So once you have added the content, you need to enter this one. You need to press enter, escape, and then press shift plus colon and then WQ exclamatory, so that you can save and come out of that file. So if you don't want to save, but if you wanted to come out, then you need to press colon Q exclamatory. Please stop me wherever you don't understand. And if you wanted to delete any content in the file, that means you can simply press keyword D 2 times. If you press keyword D 2 times, then that line will be deleted. So if you wanted to save that file, you can press shift colon and WQ exclamatory. This is how you can save the file and you can come out of that. These are the very basics of VA editor, and if you know these basics, you can get started. And if you wanted to see for disk information, that means du space -sh, and I will press star. Star. Sorry. Yeah, this is how reuse message. It is calculating the size and it might take some time. Or I will type df space -h. See, in the df space -h means it will show entire system, what kind of disk is there and how much size is there, how much utilization is there, how much availability is there, and what is the percentage. So I have only C drive and D drive. That is why it is showing these two drives. So df space -h is the command to show list of disk in the machine, either Windows or Linux. Du space -sh is mainly used to calculate the size of a file or a folder. For example, if I have wanted to see the size of this file, I will do du space -sh space file name, and it will give the size of that file. It is having 1.0 KB. In that way, you can use du space -sh df space -sh command. And you have another command, free space -m. So this command is not working here because we don't have the exact Linux environment. We only have ttbash. So free space -m will command only work in the Linux environment. This will show how much RAM is there, how much utilized, and how much free space is there. And when you type command TOP top, it will show a list of processes which are running. So this is also not working here. That's okay. We can run in the Linux server later point of time. PS space -eaf. This will show list of processes which are running in this machine. Some processes are listed out. We can ignore that. And the other command we already discussed, du space -sh. I think it's repetition. And let's go other commands in operating system information. So some of the commands might not work here, but let's see. Yeah, it is showing the operating system information. What it is showing, it is 64-bit and NT, and Kishore-PC, some name is there. So this is 64-bit machine. If it is Linux, it will show Linux, and if it is 32 or 32, 64 or 60, it will show. And the other command is cat space etc system-release. This command also will not work here because it is not a Linux server. And if config also will not work here because this is a pure Linux command, so it will not work here. So to know the IP address of a server, we have to type IP config. In the similar way, in Linux we have to type if config. So These are all the commands, Linux basic commands, which we must know. I will pause here and see if you have any questions. ifconfig will provide the IP address of the machine. So when you type, let me show you it again. When you type ipconfig, it will show list of the IP addresses. In that, we can select IPv4 address. This is the IP address of our machine, 192.168.225.206. But if you wanted to know in Linux machine, you need to type command called ifconfig. This command is not working here because it's not Linux.
Okay, fine.
Any other commands which you have any confusion here? You will definitely get no understanding when you do some practice.
Banu,
Yeah.
if we get any description each one of them, then it will be clear for us, I think. We can Google it, right? We can get.
So these are some of the additional commands in Linux. So for example, in the same shell, we can run about these things. Let me open this. Okay. So echo space hello world. That means whatever echo means, whatever the input we put in the double quotes, it will be present in the console. So we can call it as console, or we can call it as terminal, we can call it as a command prompt. So it will display there. And if you wanted to find some of the files, you can use find hyphen name, whatever the name you wanted to find. For example, if I have to see xyz JSON file is there, find space dot space hyphen name xy x x y, z, XYZ. It is taking some time, or let me cancel. Find slash what is tar? Like tar is like to compress files in tar format. We can do this thing. Most of the Linux operating systems use this command. To extract tar file, we can use hyphen xvf. If you wanted to compress, we use hyphen cvf. If you don't want to extract the file, but if you wanted to see the content, we can use hyphen tvf. Let's see how we can do that. Now I wanted to compress some files. Yeah. And first we need to give the file name, tar file name. What is the destination file name? You can give any name. I have given this thing. And I wanted to keep videos might be more in size. I'll take pictures. So you can see this file is created, tar file name.jar. So what it has, whatever the pictures folder will have, that will be compressed into .tar file. Now, if you have to extract means, we can extract using tar-xvf space tar file name.tar. I don't want to do here because the pictures folder is already there. And if you don't want to extract, but still if you wanted to see the content, you can use this command. It will show what are the content of that tar file. And the other commands, scd, cut commands are there. scd command means basically it will be more useful for recording. Not recording, basically replacing. For example, in any file, if you wanted to replace, let me open a file called file. In that, I have ABCD, XYZ, ABCD, XYZ. Some names are like this. So in that, I don't want ABCD, and ABCD should be replaced with XYZ. In that scenario, I will use SCD. SCD-S single quote, yes, ABCD is the word. I should be replaced with XYZ and file. Now if I open the file, only XYZ will be there. ABCD is replaced with XYZ. So this is one of the uses of SCD command. And the cut command is to display the column wise display. For example, the same file I wanted to see, in the fifth column it has only X character. Let me show you the file content. This is the file content and it has some lines. In the, let's calculate the column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the fifth column we have only X character. So the specific column it wanted to print, and the remaining section where it doesn't have anything, so it didn't print anything. To only print X. If you wanted to print for example first line, you can give 1. So it will only print the first column. So if you see the first column has X, A, S, A. That is the use of cut command. And there is another use of cut command using delimiter. In the same file, I will add like Banu colon Prakash colon some XYZ. So in that, I only want Banu name to be printed. So how I can identify is colon, I can use that as a delimiter. Delimiter in the sense that is the identifier of this command. For example, cut -d single colon, I'll put delimiter colon. So in that file, wherever colon is there, in front of colon, what is the content is there, it should be displayed outside. I will keep like this. So if you see colon is there, in front of colon Banu is there, but in the other lines there is no colon, but still this in front of colon all these lines will come. So it printed the Banu and the remaining content. So if you select field 2, it will print the other characters of Prakash. Let me open the file, or I will print here. So line by line it will take. First thing, each line wherever a colon is there, in front of colon what it is, whatever is there, it will print. So this is the first field. If you select field F2, it will print. If you select field F3, this will gets printed. And it is also bringing all this data. If you don't want this data, you can still do that using another command. You can do cat file, and this is the pipe symbol I'm forwarding. Pipe symbol means whatever input comes, it will forward to the next command. So here, whatever the content of file, I'm forwarding to the next command. The next command is I'm putting this grep. Grep means it will pick whatever the specific number of words in that file. I will keep -i so that either lowercase or uppercase it will ignore. In that I want to get only colon lines. See, it has only printed colon lines. And from that I use cut command, cut -d colon, I use the delimiter. In that delimiter I keep the F1. So it will only print the first field. If you want a second, it will print this one, Prakash. If you want third, it will print XYZ. Let's see that. I will give F2. I will give F3. This is how cut command will work. And this sequence is very important to understand. So whatever the output of first command will be passed to second. Second command output will be passed to third. So how this gets passed is using the pipe symbol. I will pause here and see if you have any questions. Yeah.
So these are all only commands, or we have more commands?
These are the
important commands.
These are the very much important commands. So whatever I have showed in this session, mandatory for for a DevOps person, and these are not limited. There are many more commands are there, and if you wanted to learn all the commands, it's not possible, but learn what is required.